Good morning, everybody. We are in a new episode, and I'm bringing on my good friend, colleague, John Lee, who I've talked to before. We did some episodes, but we want to dive deeper into understanding John's expertise, which is brand opening marketing. And I think, John, you agree, and we can all agree that it's almost like the best first impression. If you go on a job interview, you want to make a good impression because you want to get that job. If you open up a new business, your grand opening is ultimately your best first impression. It really sets the stage for future success. If you don't have a good grand opening, if you don't see that line out the door, if people aren't excited or talking about your brand early on before you open, you may not have that much success down the road. So, John, talk to us a little bit about how you approach this, how you help people with this, your history with it, and a little bit about your strategy when it comes to grand openings.
Absolutely, Ryan. Thank you very, very much. I appreciate the introduction. And this is a great opportunity for emerging brand franchisors. This is a critical point for them. It's a critical point in time for them. And we want to focus on igniting success for their new franchisees, because their new franchisees, the success of their new franchisees is going to be critical to the growth of their franchise brand. We've been in business for 32 years. We've worked with over 6,000 franchisees, mostly in the fast casual food service business. We've had a lot of success. We've upgraded the plan and developed the plan and elevated the plan and changed it and modified it over the years. And to what we have right now is, I think, an over the top, exciting marketing plan for any emerging brand franchisor in the fast casual food service business, as well as their franchisees.
Yeah.
We've developed a program, and we've developed a complete 4 month opening, launch, and grand opening marketing program. It's a 4 month program, but this particular podcast, this particular video, we want to focus just on the pre-opening, because many franchisors and franchisees and marketing companies, they overlook the pre-opening and the benefits and the opportunities that a pre-opening provides. Most franchise companies, and I've worked with many of them, and franchisees, they wait till they say, well, we've got about 3 months before we open, so we don't need marketing right now. Wrong, wrong, wrong. That is the worst attitude. What we need to do, and I always try to instill this in the franchisor and the franchisee, as soon as that franchisee has signed the lease for that space and they have the keys to the front door, you need to notify us so we can begin developing that opening, launch, and grand opening marketing program for their store. We need to start months before opening day, or opening day could be, you can have an empty store on opening day. So we don't want that. So what we like to do is really focus on the pre-opening, and which we feel should initiate. We should develop the plan as soon as they sign the lease on the space. Give us a couple of weeks to develop a plan, and the actual implementation of the pre-opening should begin 60 days before opening day. And it's absolutely critical that this opening day, they have a store full of customers and a line out the door, as you'll see in some of the upcoming photos. The plan itself, the 4 month marketing plan, is developed into 3 phases. The pre-opening phase, the now open phase, which we feel should continue for about 6 weeks, and then the grand opening phase. We do not recommend a store have a grand opening. They should have a grand opening about 6 to 8 weeks after opening day, because they've got to have time to build that customer base and so on and so forth. So it's absolutely critical. And for an emerging brand, the two most important concerns, or two greatest concerns of a emerging brand franchisor, are current stores struggling, current stores underperforming, because that can impact the validation for prospective franchisees, which can in turn inhibit the growth of a young emerging brand.
Hmm.
So we have a program, a local store marketing program called our Life Raft marketing program that can turn those underperforming stores around in 30 to 60 days for very little money. But that's a topic for another time. This particular problem, the second concern for a franchisor, are getting those new stores up and running and achieving break even as just as quickly as possible. So, and it all begins at least 60 days before the store opens with development of the plan. We'd like to go ahead and go to that storefront. We'd like to start the program with what I call a full window billboard. You want to show us that slide?
Sure. I want to ask you too, John. Another thing I wanted to ask you is when it comes to franchise sales, and when you have brands that are doing this grand opening and there you see this line out the door, a lot of franchisors are thinking, how do we leverage this to grow our brand and sell more franchisees? Do you feel like it's attractive to franchise candidates who want to buy into a franchise to see a really spectacular grand opening? I feel like it's not only a benefit for the brand and for that location, but it's also a benefit for people who want to look into buying a franchise. If they see that grand opening is successful, it drives more interest right away off the bat. They're going to go, that looks like it's a pretty lucrative opportunity. Would you agree with that, John? Is it,
Well,
is
I
it,
do. I absolutely do agree with that. And let me give you an example. I spoke with a prospective franchisor a couple of years ago, and we had a Zoom call with their vice president of marketing and the president and their top management people. And I said, "Hey, tell me what your opening day looks like for your new stores." And the VP of marketing said, "Well, we open and we're kind of busy in the morning, and we usually close around 4 or 5 o'clock." And I said, "Why would you close at 4 or 5 o'clock on opening day?" He said, "Well, we don't have any customers."
yeah,
Now, would you rather buy into a brand with those kinds of results on opening day, or buy into a brand like the one we're going to show you here in
right.
just a moment?
Yeah.
We like to, it's a good question, but you're exactly right. Where do you want to put your money, and where do you want to invest? We like to start off with 60 days before store opens. You might show us this next slide. We
Yeah.
call
Let
it
me, let me open up the slides here. Yeah.
a
Let me,
full window billboard. And the franchisee, now this is an actual store in Tampa, Florida. Uh, the franchisee simply sends us the window and door dimensions. We do the artwork for this. We do all of this except install the graphics. But we develop the window clings. We develop the design for every window and door. We have the creative people that do that. We produce these window clings and we ship them to the store, and they're easy to install. Whoever's doing the build out for the store, they can install them with ease, and we'll show them how to do it, and we'll walk them through it. So that's not a problem. But you'll see, when you have a new store that's not open yet, and you have it, everyone is curious. The public, the community is curious about what's going in there. What kind of business is that going to be? And they started the build out, but they're not open yet. And they see the wires and the electrical cords, and they're painting, and they're doing all this build up kind of stuff. And the public wants to know what's in there, what's going to go in there, what kind of products and services they're going to sell, and when are they going to open.
yeah.
So it really develops a lot of curiosity on the part of the community, the public, the future customers of that store. So we want to capitalize on that
Right.
curiosity. So we like to begin, and this has been very successful for us. We have the numbers to back it up. We like to put together what we call a full window billboard, and we like to have this up 45 to 60 days before they open. Now, we know the opening date is a moving target because of construction delays, weather delays, city inspections, and so on and so forth. But that's okay. We're used to dealing with that. We're flexible. So when this goes up, we'd like to promote the brand, which we're doing here. We like to promote the menu a couple of items on the menu. You can see we want that product to be bigger than life. We want the people to come up and take a bite out of the window
Yeah. Yeah.
and promote the menu. And if you look at that door, really study on that door, coming soon. So obviously they're not open yet. Enter to win a year of free Poke Bowls.
Yeah.
This is critical. This is the secret formula to our success. And anyone walking by this store that's not open yet, anyone walking by it, they can enter to win on their cell phone, because we'll have a code, a number and a code, or they can get on the store's Facebook page and enter that way. So typically, Ryan, what happens once this design is up and this message on the door is up for 45 to 60 days, we're going to have, typically we have over 1,000 people. That's over 1,000 people that have entered to win a year of free pizza or a year of free smoothies or a year of whatever.
Yeah.
But that year of demands attention, because that's a high perceived value. A year of smoothies, my God, that has a huge perception. It gets a lot of attention, develops a lot of excitement and curiosity. People enter. Now, what happens once they have entered, and we have 1,000, in this case, we had 1,016 cell phone numbers and email addresses. And of course, what we do a store countdown. As we get closer to opening day and we have a firm date, we're going to do a countdown 3 days before that store opens, like 3 days for opening day and getting free smoothies, 2 days and 3 days. And then opening day, bingo, the bells and whistles go off. Come get your free smoothies from 11 to 2.
Yeah.
And we'll have a specials beyond that. But you might show us the next slide there, Ryan. Yeah. This is the result of this program for this particular store. Opening day, they had 128 people waiting in line before the store opened. Okay?
Wow.
That's huge. That is great. The franchisee said it was the best. It was the best opening day this client has ever had. And we see this across all brands. If we do it right, if we begin the marketing process with the full window billboard, like 45 to 60 days before opening day. And then opening day is huge. They're going to have a store full of customers all day, and it just kicks the store off. It really gets things going, and the store's crowded all the way through grand opening and beyond. So it's a great way to start the store. It's a great way to really develop its footprint in the community and create word of mouth. And of course, we don't stop there. Of course, the opening day, the now open day, which we'll get into in another podcast, but that opening day, we want to have a local charity tie-in. We want to have a fundraiser for that local charity, and so on and so forth. And like I said, we don't want to have the grand opening until they've been open for a couple of months. But this is evidence of a Tasty Delight store in Michigan. Their store looked like this all day long.
Wow.
So it's really exciting. They were really busy all day long. And the next store you're going to see kind of the same thing with this is another store in Missouri, I believe. Again, a store full of customers. So it's the only way. And the primary difference is not waiting until opening day to start marketing your store. You have to begin marketing that store 45 to 60 days. I mean, aggressively market, not only with the full window billboard, but also with social media and digital marketing, and letting the community know on an online basis, social media and digital marketing, of this enter to win a year of free pizza, for example, and promoting it that way as well, because that generates even more interest. So it's a full window billboard. It's a social media, digital marketing that really makes this happen, but it all has to be planned out.
So
when a franchisee says, "Oh, we got plenty of time. We're not going to open for about 3 months," Oh, that is so wrong. That's so
Right.
wrong thinking. You're just setting yourself up for failure. This has to start, this process, this planning has to start the day the franchisee has signed the lease on the space, has the keys to the front door, and we need to start implementing this plan 60 days before they actually open.
So both of these pictures were showing they followed that rule. So they were doing their pre-marketing 60 to 90 days before opening
They
day,
did.
which is what you're looking at right here in this.
Right.
Okay.
That's opening day. This is
Yeah.
opening day.
Okay.
Yep.
Let's go to the next one here. So this is another one. Is this a
This is
similar?
another one in San Antonio.
Okay.
Yeah, at Sub-Zero ice cream. Yeah. This is another one. This store was pretty much packed all day with customers. Getting the kind of the free sample early in the morning and then just a slight discount in the afternoon, and it didn't stop them. They still kept coming in. So
Yeah.
it was really successful.
That's great, John. So let's kind of recap. I mean, so first of all, it sounds like timing is important. I have a question for you. I think a lot of people are going to want to know if they start to work with you and we're talking about getting signage on the doors and the graphics and all of that stuff. That all takes time to get done too. So what's the turnaround to get all of that, all the signage and the graphics and the door banners and all that? How long does that take to get together?
Well, this is going to take about probably 2 weeks.
Okay.
Once we get the dimensions of the windows and the door from the franchisee, we're going to develop a design for
Mhm.
each window and door. And we're going to set up this Enter to Win campaign because we have to set up the texting, receiving text messages, and receiving email entries. So it's going to take a couple of weeks to get all that set up. I would say 3 weeks from the time they sign the lease, they notify us, give us 2 weeks to develop the plan or 10 days to develop the actual opening, launch, and grand opening marketing plan. And once that's approved, then we begin working, and the franchisee sends us the dimensions of the front windows and door. Then we begin on that design, give us about a week for that, and then another week, maybe 10 days to produce it and ship it to the franchisee. So I would say in the course of maybe about 4 or 5 weeks.
Okay. Okay. And you're in communication with them on that to make sure everything is things are approved. There's no misspellings, there's no typos, there's no
Right.
mistakes.
The
Okay.
franchisee and the franchisor, they see everything. We're totally transparent with everything, the costs, the designs, everything. Nothing is produced without the franchisee and the franchisor signing off on it. And yeah, once everything's approved, then we start rolling forward in the implementation of this plan.
I think the important thing too is when you start off things on the right foot and you have developed a big customer base early on or a big list, cell phone numbers, emails, that's only going to help you down the road too. John, do you see like sort of like it just continues to pick up consistently when they have a good grand opening and they have a crowd? Because it seems like that's just going to draw more people in over time and that's only going to help the brand overall, right?
You're right. You're right. Exactly right. And what happens is that in itself creates a lot of goodwill and word of mouth promoting in the community. But also, like I said earlier, we want to partner, and we set this up for the franchisee. We want to partner with one or maybe two local charity organization, maybe Boys and Girls Club or something like that, or something to help the disabled children in a local community. And we want this to be kind of a fundraiser for them, not only for the now open, but through the grand opening as well. And most of these nonprofit organizations, they have anywhere from 5 to 10 to 20,000 supporters
Right.
with email addresses. So we work with them, and they send out a notification to all of their constituents and supporters about, hey, we're partnering with this franchise company. You come get free smoothies on opening day,
Yeah.
and it just snowballs. It really does.
One thing I don't think we talked about too is when you have a big grand opening, you have a lot of people there and people are on social media, they're going to be taking pictures and videos and sharing that stuff live. So that's free marketing for you too, because their social media connections are going to see your brand and also be interested. Not only that, they're probably texting friends and family to come on down and check it out. So the more
Right.
people you get in, the more free marketing you're getting because they're going to go out there and promote it. People love to take pictures of the food they're eating, the restaurants they're at,
But they
and
do. They
they do
really
love it.
do.
That's
They
just
just
free.
love to be involved. They
They
love to
love to
be
be involved.
involved and engaged and
Yeah.
being a part of something new and
Yeah.
something that they can share with their fellow constituents
Yeah.
and neighbors, friends and neighbors. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So yeah, let's wrap this up, John. I mean, where can people find you? I know they can connect with you through LinkedIn. How do they find you online? Do you have a website and everything?
LinkedIn, yes. Our website is Impact Marketing Services.com. That's impactmarketingservices.com. Take you to our website. My email address is John, John, at impactmarketingservices.com. My cell phone number is 602 318 3008. You can call me or text me. I'll be glad to have a call, a brief conversation. We can set up an introductory call. There's no obligation, but at least answer some of your questions. I know a lot of franchisors say, "Well, we do it in house, and we do," but their stores aren't. You may do it in house, but your new stores aren't achieving to the levels where they should be.
Yeah.
They're not accelerating, even though
Right.
you're doing it in house. I mean, that doesn't mean anything. What really matters is how well your stores are doing, how fast are they achieving break even, where they
Yeah.
have that store has a financial life of its own, and the owners are finally bringing in some money for themselves. That's really where that's at. So
Yeah.
yeah, email me, get on our website. We have a free marketing guide, opening launch marketing guide. They can get on our website, impactmarketingservices.com, and download that marketing guide. We'll be glad to help you in any way we can, answer any questions with no obligation.
All right, John. Well, thank you so much. I look forward to hopefully seeing you at IFA this weekend in Phoenix.
You bet.
And I'll talk to you soon.
Great, Ryan. Thank you.
Thanks.